In order for your staff to complete training, you may require that grading results be reviewed and accepted by the trainee. In Mint TMS, you can provide trainees with an HTML copy of their grading results as well as the option of agreeing or disagreeing with those results. If they disagree, the results can be automatically passed to a supervisor. The supervisor can be defined either by property or by record item assignment. From there, the supervisor can review the trainee's concerns, come to a conclusion, and then close the workflow. To save time, this video will only cover building the automation structure in TMS Web. Before starting on those steps, you must complete the following preconditions. 1. Create or select a record item that will be associated with a form and trigger the workflow. 2. Create or select a record item or requirement to identify supervisor resources. 3. Create a resource record item property set. Each set element will represent a workflow status. In our example, we'll use to be reviewed, agreed, disagreed, and discussed and agreed. 4. Create and activate a resource record item property for the statuses. 5. Define the first status, to be reviewed, as the default value for the resource record item property. The workflow won't trigger until the property has that value. 6. Assign a resource to the record item. Once the workflow elements are set up and resources are assigned to the record item, it's now time to log into Mint TMS Web to create a new workflow. First, we're going to configure the automation properties. Let's name the whole automation review form workflow. Let's set the top organization node for who can access this automation configuration. Then, we're going to select the review form workflow statuses property using the status set dropdown. Keep in mind that once you click Save and activate automation, you will not be able to change this property. Under the list of statuses, you'll find all the set elements for the property you created earlier. Let's double-click on the first status to be used in our workflow. In our case, it's the to be reviewed status. Once we fill out the necessary properties for this status, let's create a transition between automation start and to be reviewed. To let the resources know that a workflow is assigned to them, we need to toggle on Send Notification, Send Email, and Send to Workflow Item Resource. Next, fill out the message subject and message body. We'll input a placeholder that will display the grade form name. Now, let's add the agreed status and fill out the needed automation properties. Then, we're going to create a transition between the two statuses and configure the following message properties. Lastly, enable the completion section and define a final status visible days value greater than 0, so that the workflow shows up in the assignees table. Now, let's add the disagreed status and fill out the needed automation properties. Then, we're going to create a transition between to be reviewed and a disagreed, and configure the following message properties. Next, toggle on Delegate Next Status, and define which resource should complete the next status by property or by record item assignment. For our example, we'll set required delegate record item to be supervisor qualification. Then, define a delegation prompt message for the newly assigned resource to receive. Now, let's finish the workflow by adding the discussed and agreed status and transition. Don't forget to also enable the completion section and define a final status visible days value greater than 0. We have now successfully finished building the automation, but don't forget that the automation will not trigger until it is activated. With that being said, the only thing left to do is to click Save and activate automation. The assigned resources should now be notified that they have a workflow to complete. And that's how to create a review form workflow in TMS Web. For more information about the review form workflow, visit your Mint manual.